is Taylor series and what is Maclaurin series? Yeah. Okay. So Taylor series is a function. The for the function f, the series generated. So you have your function. You want it to be expressed in the form of a series. Series means it's this term plus this term plus this term and so on. And yeah, so you want to express your function as a series on the right hand side. So how can you express that is given here as a formula? Okay, so that's about Taylor series. So if you have a function f and its derivative exists, yeah, so f1, f2, and so on to f, and these derivatives exist, then what we can say is at an interior point in your interval, the Taylor's series can be generated for the function at x equal to a by this formula. So this is just one formula that you need to by heart for Taylor series. And in this formula, wherever a is there, if you put a 0, you will get your Maclaurin series. Okay, so all you have to remember is the Taylor series formula. In that formula, wherever a is there, just put a 0, because this is for any point x equal to a. This is for any point x equal to a, and the Taylor series is for the point x equal to 0. That's the only difference. Maclaurin's is a specific case where x is equal to 0, and Taylor's is for any x equal to a. So in the questions, in the problems, you will see an x equal to 1, x equal to 3, x equal to 5 by 2. So they give you these points, at which point they want the expansion. They want the series for the function. And function can be a sine x function, a cos x function, an exponential function, a log function. It could be an algebraic function. It could be a polynomial. It can be any function. All you have to remember is a function will be given, a point will be given. You have to express the function as a series. Now look at this term. This is your summation begins at a 0, k equal to 0 and goes on till infinity. Okay, your first term. How do you get the first term? Wherever k is there, you put a 0. So f0 is the function as it is, f of a. So you can see that's your first term which is coming. And then what is a k factorial? In place of k, if you put a 0, do you get the 0 factorial, which is a 1? 0 factorial is a 1, so that is why denominator is a 1. And in place of k, if you put a 0, what is an x minus a raised to the power 0? Would that be 1 again? X minus a raised to the power 0. So first term confirmed, or any repetition for the first term? In the summation, is it an f of a all the time? Any repeat for the first term? All you did was in place of k, you put a 0. Summation, you're opening the summation now. Okay, you're trying to get a few terms. So sometimes question itself will mention, give the third term, give the fourth term, till the fourth term you write, or till the fifth term you write. So they will, this is an infinite series, but you want to mention a few terms. So to open your summation, first term, wherever k is there, you put a 0. Second term, wherever k is there, you put a 1. Third term, wherever k is there, you put a 3, 2, and so on. So first term, wherever k is there, if I put a 0, then it is f power 0. That means you're not differentiating f. It's differentiating f 0 times. So that is why you wrote f as it is, and that a remains as it is, and x minus a power k, which is an x minus a power 0, which is a 1, and in the denominator a k factorial is 0 factorial, which is a 1. So that is why we got just f of a for the first term when k is 0. Taylor's is for any point, specific point. Maclaurin's is for a specific point x equal to 0. Taylor's would hold true for any given point. Yeah, that's why we generalize it. We put an x equal to a. Okay, let's begin with the second term. Wherever k is there, put a 1. So f1, f dash, or f1. Okay, so you can see the first derivative at the point a divided by, yeah, k is 1, so 1 factorial is 1, x minus a power 1, so x minus a is coming as it is. So quickly confirm whether the second term is also right. Quickly check whether the second term is also right. Wherever k is there, you're putting a 1. Yeah. Okay, so you confirm that second term is also right. Wherever k is there, you're putting a 1. Next, wherever k is there, put a 2. So second derivative of f at a. So second derivative of at a is the numerator. Denominator is 2 factorial and x minus a raised to the power 2. So this is also right. Second term, third term is also right. Quickly check. Wherever k is there, we put a 0 first. We put a k equal to 1. Next, we're putting a k equal to 2. And this term is whenever k is equal to n. Whenever k is equal to n. Okay, so we just mentioned for 3 terms. After that, we put dot, dot, dot. We wrote the nth term and then it's a dot, dot, dot. Okay, so it's infinite series. Yeah. Would it be F2 of A? Where is it? Yeah, it's instead of F2, they just put a double dash. What does that mean? F double dash means F dash is differentiating once. Yeah, F dash or F1 is once. F double dash is differentiating 2 times. F triple dash is differentiating. F double dash is the same as your F2. That's just a notation that we use. We just saying the second derivative, the third derivative, and so on. So n times you put a dash, so it's Fn. It's just terminology. Representation, that's all it matters. But remember, we're differentiating. Okay, we are differentiating. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now go to Taylor's series. Wherever A is there, put a 0 and confirm to me whether this formula is right. All of you, wherever A is there, put a 0 because Maclaurin sees about x equal to 0. Quickly confirm to me whether the formula is right. Then we'll move on to the examples. Hurry up. Wherever A is there, put a 0. Right. Okay. All of you are confirming that it's the same formula. All you did was in place of A, it's a 0. Okay. So did you by heart the formula in your head? Have you by hearted the formula in your head? Summation K going from 0 to infinity. Summation K going from 0 to infinity. Kth derivative of F at A. That's why it's an F power K within brackets A. Kth derivative of at A divided by K factorial into the factor X minus A raised to the power K. By hearted? This is convenience. So some places you can't use the function as it is. Some places you can use the infinite series. It has lot of applications. So once you finish your mid-semester, Harsimran will give us a presentation on where Taylor series can be used. Taylor's, Maclaurin's, we have Fourier series. So many things. It has applications, especially in physics and electronics, they use applications. Yeah. Yeah. Shall I move on? Any repeat or move on? Okay. Yeah. You by hearted in your head. In your head, you have the formula now. Summation. K, remember K goes from 0 to infinity. And then it is an kth derivative of F at A and then divided by K factorial. And within brackets, it's an X minus A raised to the power K. X minus A raised to the power K. Okay. Yes. So we will do one question and we'll come back to the formula if we're require it. Okay, so begin with the first question. What kind of function is this? What kind of a function is this? What's the name of this function? Polynomial function. Excellent. Yeah, right. Okay, so we want to express it as an infinite series. Okay, so first thing we did is, yeah, take the function, find its derivatives. F dash of x is a 6x minus 6. F double dash of x is a 6. F triple dash of x is a 0. After that, the higher derivatives are 0. So we only have the first derivative and the second derivative. Any doubt? Just like that, don't waste time and quickly tell me whether this much is clear. For this polynomial function, we only have till the second derivative. Yes? Okay, after that, your higher derivatives will not be there. Yeah. So Also, now we want to evaluate this at this point x equal to 1. So keep that information also ready, because we need the derivatives and we need the value of the derivative at x equal to 1. So from f dash of x, you have to get your f dash of 1. From f double dash of x, you have to get your f double dash of 1. And from the function f of x, you will get your f of 1. So do the calculation and quickly confirm to me whether these values are right. Otherwise, mention a repeat. Okay, so Devolina is confirming that these values are absolutely right. Okay, so we have the values ready. Now we go for the formula that we have for Taylor series. Quickly check whether we copied the formula right. Wherever A is there, what do we have for this question? Wherever A is there, what do we have in this question? 1. Okay, so yeah. So check the formula. Have we written it right? Nth derivative of f at 1 by n factorial x minus 1 raised to the power n. Okay, so in place of k, he's using a variable n. Okay, it's just a variable. Okay, in place of k, he's putting an n. And now first term, start with the first term, n equal to 0. Then f of 1, then it is an x minus 1 raised to the power 0 by 0 factorial. And what is f of 1? Is it 2? So is the first term 2? Confirmed? First term, is it a 2? Any repeat for the first term? All you did was in place of n, you put a 0. Is 2 right? The first term is 2. Quickly check whether the first term is right. Is it a 2? Yeah, okay. Right. People are confirming that it is 2. Okay, now next term, wherever n is there, if you put a 1, f1 of 1, and then it is an x minus 1 raised to the power 1 divided by 1 factorial. But you already have defined that the first derivative at 1 is 0. So you can see that, yeah, x minus 1 power 1 term is not coming. X minus 1 power 1 term is not coming. Why? Because f dash of 1 is 0. Any repeat? Second term is not there. Second term has become a 0. Any repeat? Got it. Okay. Next, wherever n is there, put a 2 now. You finished with 0, you finished with 1, you put a 2 now. Wherever n is there, if you put a 2, then it is f2 of 1. That means the second derivative of at 1, which is a 6, into x minus 1 raised to the power 2 by 2 factorial. By 2 factorial. Okay, if you simplify, this is the term that you will get. And will you get any more terms after that? After that, will you get any more terms? No. Why? Because, why is it that we don't get any more terms? The derivatives are, yeah, the higher derivatives are zeros. So this is all that we get. So therefore, the Taylor's expansion of this particular function will, in terms of x equal to 1, would be this function 2 plus 3 into x minus 1 whole square. 2 plus 3 into x minus 1 whole square. So it depends on the function, how many terms we'll have. Yeah. So final answer is this is the Taylor series of that given function. Any repeat or move on? Statement in this example, what statement, Syed? All statements are there. Which statement? Okay. Yeah. This statement, if you want, you skip writing it. What it says is you have your first derivative, second derivative, third derivative onwards, it is a 0. So he's saying fn, that means the higher derivatives for n greater than equal to 3 will be 0. That's all he's mentioning there. higher derivatives are 0. So n greater than equal to 3, fn, that means nth derivative of f at that particular x is equal to 0. Yeah, if the nth derivative itself is 0, there's no need to evaluate the value of nth derivative at this particular point x equal to 1. What are we doing in this step? We are finding the derivatives of the function. And what are we doing in this step? We are evaluating the derivatives at x equal to 1. That's the difference between these two lines. These are just the derivatives of the functions, and these are the values of the derivatives at x equal to 1. Clear, Syed? Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the next example. Okay. Okay. Copy. Finish, Syed? Anybody from biology background, from PUC background? Anybody with biology background, PUC from Bangalore? Jason, you're not in Bangalore, no? Are you there in Bangalore? Yeah, not just bio background and Bangalore, because I need a first PUC bio textbook. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah, if you have a bio textbook, just send me a message later on. Yeah, just send a WhatsApp message to me. I need a first PUC bio textbook. Yeah, right. Okay. So this is the question that we finished with. We'll move on. Offline. That I have not heard of that. Which test is compulsory? Rishikesh, which one are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? Today's mock test, yes, it's compulsory. Yeah. Okay, I'll just check my mail and see if I have a soft copy. Yeah. Or otherwise, there's just one student of mine who has, who has sent me a soft copy of her notebook last year. She was in the CME class, and she's not written it. What I want to say is handwriting is not great, but she's a bright student. So mistakes, I'm doubtful if she would have made any mistakes. But she writes neat. She doesn't write very neatly. If you want, I can pass on that soft copy of her notebook also, where all the topics have been done, and they were done on an offline mode. So maybe you can get some questions from there. If you want, I can put it in the classroom. Today's mock test can't be moved. Yeah, it's for all the 5 combinations, so time is fixed, 5 to 5:20. That can't be moved. Yeah. Okay, I need to move on. I need to move on. Anything else, keep mentioning it again and again in the chat so that I will see it. Okay, next question is simple function x power 3. So how many derivatives will be there? X power 3, we'll have derivative only till the, which derivative? X power 3, third derivative. After that, it is 0. So quickly check whether your derivatives are right. Check whether your values at those derivatives are right. Okay, I'm giving you a minute's time, and I want you to confirm till this step if it is correct. Derivatives are there, the values of the derivatives at that particular point. This question is about the point x equal to 3. Previous question was about the point x equal to 1. So quickly check, confirm, and then we move on. Even if one confirms that these values are right, I'm moving ahead. Okay, so don't waste time. Hurry up. Susmit, it's there in the classroom. I have mentioned the course plan. Course plan has clearly mentioned, yeah, course plan has mentioned. It's mentioned in the course plan, the syllabus. Check with the others, Susmit. Even otherwise, even if you didn't see this course plan, didn't see the syllabus, whatever I've done till today's class, till tomorrow's class is there for the mid-semester. Yeah, whatever I've done till today's class or tomorrow's class will be there for the mid-semester. Okay, so people have confirmed that these values are right. Check whether the formula, yeah, formula is copied right. Wherever A is there is a 2 appearing. Check whether the formula is copied right. Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, it's not a 3. It's given a 3 there and he's evaluating at 2. Okay, so that means in the question we change and we make it a 2, right? Is that enough? Check. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All we have to do is the question is not about a 3, it is about a 2. Right. Okay. So wherever A is there, he's mentioned a 2. So this step is right. Yeah. Start with the first term, n equal to 0. You will just have an f of 2 and f of 2 is 8. So first term is 8. Then f dash of 2 is 12. So 12 into x minus 2 by 1 factorial. Second term is right. Next, f double dash is 12 again. So 12 into x minus 2 square by 2 factorial. Next, f triple dash is a 6. 6 into x minus 2 whole cube by 3 factorial. I think there are no typing mistakes in this. Check again. And when you simplify, do you get this? Otherwise, mention a repeat. This is the easiest thing that we have done till now. Yeah, Leibniz is tough, definitely tough. It's confusing. You will forget coefficients. You will make mistakes with the powers. Yeah, Leibniz requires a lot of practice. That's why today, if you let me complete Taylor's and Maclaurin's, tomorrow I can go back to this one. Just give me a second. Yeah, is the last step right? Any repeat or move on? Successive differentiation is there in the book that Ritham has shared with all of you. Successive differentiation is there in the book that Ritham has shared. 1 second, just give me a second. Yeah. So yeah, today's mock test, if you face, it's just a mock test. So today's mock test you face, and let's have a discussion tomorrow. Okay, you will get an idea how you will be assessed. What is it people are expecting you to understand, expecting you to learn? What is it they're focusing on? That idea you will get today. So don't think so much. Today's test you attempt and see, and then you can see how you need to prepare. Test is on 21st, so there's still a week's time. Okay. Yeah. Where can you find Leibniz theorem examples? What about Bali? Bali doesn't have too many questions. The others are saying NP Bali has. NP Bali or that Reetham's book definitely has successive differentiation. I checked it myself. Yeah, that book has some successive differentiation questions. Okay, anyways, I promise to put up a soft copy of questions on Leibniz. Okay. Other topics I will not promise, but Leibniz I will send you a scanned copy of some examples. Is that okay? Can we move on? Yeah. Ritham is saying both successive and Leibniz are there in that book he sent. Okay. Yeah. So I will just quickly move on to the next question. EME wants to chat more than learn, right? Huh? EME loves to chat. Huh? Yeah, more than learning. They want to communicate. They want to basically chat. Yeah, good at chatting. Okay, what do you see? Find the Maclaurin series for a function 1 plus x raised to the power mu. Mu is some constant here. Okay, mu is some constant here. So take that function, and he's saying where x not equal to minus 1. Okay, let the function, yeah. So first thing we made observation is this is the function we want to write. So we want to find its Maclaurin's expansion. So my last line would be the function is equal to, and then some terms will appear. Okay, so it's an infinite series on the right hand side and some terms will appear. So this is my last line. This is where I want to arrive at. Okay, so since it is Maclaurin series, I am examining at which point x equal to 0. This is the point where we'll examine. Start with the function. Begin with the function. This is the function. Quickly confirm whether this is our first derivative. Is the first derivative right? Take mu to be a constant. Will the power become mu minus 1? Yes, right. Second derivative, mu minus 2 power. Second derivative. Quickly check. Yeah, okay. Mu minus 3 and nth derivative, would it be in terms of mu minus n? Whatever be that mu. Okay, so we have listed out our nth derivatives. Now check whether the values of these nth derivatives at x equal to 0 will give us this. This is what I want you to confirm. Be careful with this step. Go back to those functions. Wherever x is there, put a 0 and check whether the values of the derivatives of these functions are right. If this is right, nothing can go wrong. Then the series will come correct. But if one of the derivatives are wrong here, the series will go wrong. So you lose marks here also and there also. Quickly check whether the values are right. Syed, you checked on the slide or you checked in the notebook? Where did you check? Yeah. Okay, Atharva's confirming it's correct. Let's move ahead. Yeah, so derivatives are right. So now we write the series expansion. Look at the formula. He's not even mentioned the formula. Straight away he's writing. Okay, anyway, you by now you have by hearted the formula. First term is an f of 0 plus second term is f dash of 0 into, yeah, this time because it is a 0, you're doing it x powers only will come divided by 0 factorial, which is a 1. So you can see that mu into x power 1 by 1 factorial. Is this right? F dash of 0 is a mu. So mu into x power 1 by 1 factorial. Mu into mu minus 1 into x power 2 by 2 factorial. Mu into mu minus 1 into mu minus 2 by 3 factorial into x. This is a x power 3. Okay, typo. Yeah, x power 3. And check the last term, nth term also. Check whether the nth term is also right. For, yeah, for the power of x, when it is 2, you are going till minus 1. When the power of x is 3, you are going till a mu minus 2. So when the power of x is n, you are going till a mu minus of n minus 1, which is a mu minus of n plus 1. Any repeat for this term? Any repeat for this term? Doing it, move on. What is it? Yeah, no hurry, finish it off. Yes, yeah. If the terms of 0, we don't even mention. If the terms are non-zero, put a dot, dot, dot. It's an infinite series. One of the questions we didn't have the higher derivative, so you put a full stop there. So basically Taylor's and Maclaurin series is just giving you an alternate way of expressing a function. Given is a function, how do I express it as a series? And what is series? Series is sum of terms. Okay, it's an infinite series. So sometimes it is very important that we have an alternate expression for a function. E power x is there. We should know what what e power x is as a series. So we can have questions on e power x also. Okay, so sin x is there. What is its Taylor series? That means what is the alternate way to write sin x function? What is the alternate way to write cos x function? What is the alternate way to write sine hyperbolic function? So we just looking at the different way to write it as an infinite series. Sequence means numbers appear with comma in between, 2, 3, 5. This is a sequence of some numbers. But series is 2 plus 3 plus 5 and so on. So sum of terms. And then this in fact is Taylor's series is about an infinite series for the given function at a particular point. Move on or repeat anything for this slide. Doing it, move on, repeat. Something should be there. Otherwise, we'll waste time. Hurry up. Okay, so I don't see any response. I'm assuming you finished. I'm moving on. Yeah, this function is log of 1 plus x. Okay, log of 1 plus x is the function. Yeah, log of 1 plus x. Find the first 4 terms of the Maclaurin series. He wants only the first 4 terms of the Maclaurin series. Yeah. So this is Maclaurin series. So this is about the point x equal to 0, and he wants only first 4 terms. So you can see there are 4 terms in the final answer. So how do we begin? Given is a function log of 1 plus x. So find its derivatives. Yeah. Find till the fourth derivative. Find till the fourth derivative. So log of 1 plus x derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x. Second derivative is minus 1 upon 1 plus x whole square. Third derivative is 2 upon 1 plus x whole cube. Fourth derivative is minus 6 upon 1 plus x raised to the power 4. Quickly check whether the derivatives are right, and he's giving the values of the function also in the same step. That dash, yeah, this representation is the value of this function at x equal to 0. Okay, so it's just a notation. You're not comfortable, may draw a column there and then write f of 0, f dash of 0. You can proceed like that also. You can write f of 0, f dash of 0, and so on. Okay, he's just writing in one place both the derivatives and the values at, yeah, f dash of 0 and so on. That way also you can list out. Check whether minus 6 is right. One of you confirm. Wherever x is there, put a 0 in the derivatives and check whether these values are right. 1, minus 1, 2, minus 6, and so on. More terms will come, but we are interested only in the first 4 terms. And why did I go till the fourth derivative? Because the function value itself is a 0. Yeah, the function value itself is a 0. So if I take that, I will not get 4 terms. So that's why we had to go till the fourth term, fourth derivative. If the function value was not a 0, we could have gone till the third derivative and got the first 4 terms. Yeah. Correct? Okay, all the values are correct, right? Then Maclaurin series, is it this? If I want only the first 4 terms, f of 0, f dash of 0 into x by 1 factorial, f double dash of 0 into x square by 2 factorial, f triple dash of 0 into x cube by 3 factorial, f fourth derivative of f at 0 by 4 factorial into x power 4. Has he written it right? What about the others? Only one is confirming. Check the final answer and confirm to me whether it's right. Don't you think this is the easiest thing that we did in this whole semester? Taylor's and Maclaurin's? F dash of x at x equal to 0. Why are we finding f dash of x at x equal to 0? Where, Vibhu? Are you talking about this line? This one? Okay. Yeah. First you have to find the derivatives of the functions. Next, you have to evaluate the derivatives at this point x equal to 0. Question is about Maclaurin. So we decided that it is the point x equal to 0. So first table is about the derivatives of the functions. Second table is about the values of those derivatives at x equal to 0. The values of the derivatives at x equal to 0. Because only the values you can put in your series. Yeah, not the derivatives. The values only you can put in your series. So powers of x is decided. Taylor's or Maclaurin's powers of x is decided. Only what is changing is the coefficient will change depending on the derivatives. So it's the coefficients that we are determining from with this step. Coefficients of the powers of x. If it is Maclaurin's, powers of x will come. If it is Taylor's, x minus a power k will come. Powers of x minus a will come there. Any repeat for anything in this slide? Any doing it? Any move on? Something? Yeah, no hurry. Finish it off. Yeah, you already know the expansions. Yeah, when I show you the next slide, or many of you will say, we know this. Yeah, because you're already familiar with the expansions. Right. Okay, so I don't see you doing it, so I'm assuming you've finished and we're moving on. Yeah, you can find the expansion of sine x, cos x, sine hyperbolic function. Yeah, this slide is really bad. I don't know. I'm not able to see it myself. Yeah. Anyways, I'll just tell you the point you do for yourself and give me the final answer. It's an e power x. The function is e power x and the value of a is 2. Can you do it yourself? The function is e power x and the value of a is 2. Just give me the first three terms and confirm to me whether these are the terms that will appear. Don't look at the slide, just look, write the function there, e power x, and take your a to be 2. And give me whether the first three terms are these terms. If it is confirmed, we move on. Okay, this quality of the slide is bad. Yeah. Is the answer right? First three terms are right? Okay. Move on. Repeat. Right. Let's move on. Yeah. So this is Taylor series at x equal to 2. Okay. So this is the Taylor series at x equal to 2. If it is Maclaurin series, then it would have been an x equal to 0. Yeah. Okay. Why is the last step? Yeah. She's mentioned the first few terms, then she mentioned the nth term. and then she's put a dot, dot, dot there. And then she's saying, yeah, approximately equal to, okay, this is an e power x. She's mentioning here that this is, yeah, almost the same as e power x derivation. Yeah, the series of e power x, only difference is at x equal to 2. Okay, so when something doesn't appear very meaningful, you can skip it. Okay, so she's just giving the summation there, and she's saying this whole series is equal to a series of e power x at x equal to 2. Okay. Oh, this is worse. I can't see it myself. Okay, shall we skip it? Or you want me to dictate the question? X power 3 minus 2x plus 4 at a equal to 2. Have we done this? X power 3 minus 2x plus 4 at at a equal to 2. X power 3 minus 2x plus 4 at a equal to 2. Have we done it already? No? Okay, just copy the question and do it for yourself. This should be the answer. Yeah, this should be the answer. Okay, at a equal to 2, so it's coming in terms of x minus 2, x minus 2 power 1, x minus 2 power 0, x minus 2 power 1, x minus 2 power 2, x minus 2 power 3, and so on. Yeah, when it's polynomial, we know the derivatives will be there only for first few terms. After that, higher derivatives would be 0. Anybody doing it, or am I moving ahead? I have just 2 more minutes. Hurry up. Check whether these derivatives are right. 8, 10, 12, 6. She says 8, 10, 12, 6. Yeah. Finish it off. Right. Are the values right? 8, 10, 12, 6 are right, Maria? Right. Okay. Yeah. Can't read. Yeah, last lines are 8 plus 10 into x minus 2 plus 6 into x minus 2 whole square plus an x minus 2 whole cube. Yeah, 8 plus 10 into x minus 2 plus 6 into x minus 2 whole square, and x minus 2 whole cube coefficient is 1. Correct? X minus 2 whole cube coefficient is 1. Okay, so since you've confirmed that is correct, I am moving on. 1 mark, Rishikesh. 1 mark, Rishikesh. See, same question can come in an objective, the same question can appear as an objective question, the same question can appear as a descriptive question. Only difference is in descriptive, you will show us all the steps. In objective, you will do your calculation quickly and just give us the answer in a minute's time. That's the only difference. But question would be the same whether it's objective or descriptive. In descriptive, explanation is detailed explanation. In objective, straight to the point you answer. Okay? Rishikesh, okay. 2 marks for. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, yeah, how would you do the first one? First one is easy. E power x. E power x sin x, E power sin x. Have we done E power sin x? Is this question done? No. Okay. Log 1 plus x is done, right? Log 1 plus x is done. Yeah. Then log secant x. Okay, so solutions to E power sin x and log secant x I will post in the classroom. Okay, go through that and check whether your answers are right. E power sin x and log secant x. Yeah. Okay, these two questions I'll post in the classroom. Yeah, anyway, try to solve yourself and just check whether your final answer is right, but do it yourself because you've done so many questions. I don't think it'll be difficult at all. Okay, so these two answers I will put up in the classroom. Anything else after this? Yeah. So this is the slide I wanted to show you. So these are the Maclaurin series of some standard functions: e power x, cos x, sin x, cos hyperbolic function, sin hyperbolic function, and so on. Okay, so you can verify, do the Maclaurins for these and check whether you're getting these answers. Okay, so if these are problems by themselves, prove that this is equal to this, prove that this is equal to this. That's how the question can appear. So you can, all you have to do is at x equal to 0, you will find the derivatives of the function, first 3 terms, first 4 terms, and then substitute x equal to 0 and see whether you're getting these expansions. Anything in this slide which I need to repeat? If there's nothing, you can leave. Otherwise, quickly mention. Okay, all the best for your exam. It's at 5 o'clock. Make sure you log in on time. Yes, on Google Classroom. Check for an alert on Google Classroom. Yeah. All the best to you. Bye. Yeah, it's just a mock test, so don't fret and fume so much. Just get a hang of what they're going to assess you on. Then you will do the actual test well.